This meeting is being recorded.
It's just for you. So we'll do a jack, all eyes up here. All right? We all like feeling great? No. So anyway, I appreciate everybody coming. Who knew 8:30 on a Friday morning would capture more people than noon on a Wednesday? But this is a much larger group than we had before. We've got quite a few people online who are joining us. You were brave enough to weather the craziness outside. Come over here, these people, lazy. All right, so we're going to jump right in. No offense, phone people. So we're going to jump right in and get into what we came to talk about, which is sort of the future of HR services here at Springfield College. I've been here almost a year now, just a couple of weeks shy, which is hard to believe. It's flown by. And in that time, I've been able to observe how our team works, how we serve our customers, and it's time to make some changes in that. It's not to say that things weren't going well, but it's still time to make some change. So we have almost the entire team here today. They're here to support, answer questions, give a resource to you, but we'll jump right in. If you have questions, please do ask. I want this to be as informally formal as possible. We're going to talk about HR now, HR's future, and just have a little bit of an open dialogue. So this is the current model of human resources. It's not just applicable here, but it's applicable to almost anywhere you've been. How many of you have worked somewhere else besides Springfield College? Just about what it looked like. You had 5 or 6 people reporting up. Yeah, you have 5 or 6 people reporting up to somebody at the top. Those people all had specialized roles. They all did something that was their background in training, employee relations, benefits, payroll, T&D, employment, human resource information systems, some sort of departmental support. This is very typical. What's wrong with that model? I do.
You have 7?
Yeah, come up and count. One of those is a half person, though, to be honest. So you're sort of correct.
That's the one that's not here?
No, that's 3. I share her. Andrew?
If someone's on vacation, you don't get your yeah.
If someone's on vacation, all you will get is an out-of-office response. Absolutely. What else is wrong with it?
Overall, kind of siloed.
It's very siloed. What else? Oh, come on, this isn't hard. Or is this the effect of 8:30 on a Friday morning? A little bit? All right, so I'm going to give you the answers. Oh, it was. Where did they go? Oh. Friday morning. All right, so what's wrong with this model is I've deleted the slide that tells you what's wrong with this model. So that's what happens. I'm very siloed. No, you have people doing one job. There's no chance for them to learn anything different. In fact, I think I now know where that slide is. It's been moved to make sense. So, okay, I'm going to skip that. It's 8:30 for me, too. Here's the saga of Sarah. This demonstrates how the current model works. Obviously, I've taken some comedic liberty with this. Bear with me. She meets with Joyce during her interview. She receives an offer letter and communication from Sharon. She meets with either Sharon or Joyce plus the benefits person for orientation. She meets with Sharon to discuss her performance evaluation as she's not understanding the job, but then she tells Sharon she's pregnant. Joyce calls Sarah about FMLA, which we're legally required to do, but Joyce gets yelled at that Sharon shouldn't have told Joyce without asking Sarah. You people yell at us a lot. Sarah returns from leave and meets with benefits, but she's beyond the 30-day window to add the baby to the medical plan. We're too siloed. 6 months later, she comes to meet with Sharon on her last day, but Sharon is dealing with an emergency on campus, so Joyce steps in. This is typical, except for the fact that not all this craziness happens. But what has happened in the saga of Sarah? She yells. She yells. She's not a nice person. What else has happened, though, in this whole scenario? She has bounced from all the different offices, and this doesn't even get into if she had a harassment complaint, she might come to me. If she has a concern or question regarding ADP and her training, she would have gone to Holly or Terry for time card issues and training for those things. So everyone has just bounced. How long does Sarah last? Yeah, I'm giving HR a lot of credit for deciding the entire fate of all of our employees, that we were the sole reason that Sarah only lasted 6 months, but this is a source of frustration for a lot of people. We do hear that in exit interviews from time to time, that, bouncing around from this department, things got lost, things got dropped in the transition. don't be like Sarah. We've all seen that Facebook thing. Says, Frank is this. Frank, don't be like Frank. Yeah, I stole it. So this is where that slide was that I was looking for earlier. The standard HR model, like Scott said, creates silos and barriers. It forces us to disclose confidential information to one another. So you may come to us and say, I don't want you telling anyone, but if you say, look, I need an ACA accommodation, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet, we are still forced to do something. You've told us you need an accommodation. So then we have to talk to the person who does accommodations in our office, and then people get upset saying you shouldn't have told them. We are under certain legal obligations to disclose information, at least to one another in our department, but because we have to tell someone else and not do it ourselves, there's a feeling of betrayal going on. It allows answer shopping. How many of you know what answer shopping is? My whole department knows. How many of you have people that answer shop with you all the time? Do you deal with students? And they'll literally be like, Marie, I was looking for my refund, it says 40% alignment. I think it's 50. Can you give me 50? No, I'm sorry, it's 40. Hi, I was looking online. They literally just go office to office, and you can hear them ask. So again, it allows answer shopping because there's so many different people that could possibly give you a slightly different answer to your question. All staff are forced to be front-facing. Handoffs are not as seamless as we'd like. We admit it. Everyone does admit it from time to time. Things get lost in a shuffle transition, vacation, somebody leaving. Those handoffs are not as seamless as we'd like them to be. It is really incompatible with relationship building. If you're seeing 5 or 6 people during your tenure in human resources and not developing a relationship with one, 5 or 6 people can't take the time to get to know you the same way that one person can. Specialists become stuck in roles, just in the same way that we are trying with the compensation project and a couple other things that we're doing to build pathways and careers and things for people here at this institution. It's really important for me that my specialists who are here now don't feel like this is the only thing I'm ever going to do the entire time I'm here. Continuity is lost when a team member departs or simply goes on vacation, as Andrea said. And it focuses highly on the transactional HR services that we do today. So again, that's the standard HR setup. This is what most people do. You will find very few organizations kind of using the model we have, but more and more I think are getting the clue that it's the better way to go and are slowly moving to that, especially in higher education. As I see it, and as our team has been working on it, is there will be 3 partners. There will be a training and development person, which is Bree. We have Terry for our payroll. We have Holly for HRIS, which is Human Resource Information Systems, all things ADP related, and we have departmental support we know as AMP. That's the current model we will be using as of 7/1 and forward. We're already slowly starting to evolve into some of these roles. You'll notice Joyce, who was brought on a lot to do student employment. We took that over for career services this year and do some support for coordination of employment-related issues. She's already been slowly diving into a lot of these things as her job has progressed. Sharon has been handing less things off and taking them on her own as we already start to evolve into this partner model. So what does the partner mean? Well, here we go. The opposite of the saga is the success of Sarah. Again, some professional license has been taken with this. Bear with me. Sarah wants a job at Springfield College. She meets with Joyce during the interview and they instantly bond. She receives an offer letter and a welcoming communication from Joyce. She meets with Joyce for all of her orientation needs. She and Joyce connect for coffee in a few weeks to make sure all is well. She brings Joyce a lovely gift at Christmas and tips her all the time. We do accept tips. Food, cash, MasterCard, whatever. Joyce reaches out when she sees Sarah got a 4.2 rating on her first evaluation to say, way to go. Joyce saw that she was pregnant on a walk Friday and said, let's talk about your upcoming leave and benefits. I'll even bring the paperwork to you. She trips at work and Joyce catches her, avoiding it. But on the flip side, she would have gone to see Joyce if something would have happened to fill out workers' compensation paperwork or at least an accident report. Many years later, she meets with Joyce, who talks her out of leaving. Sarah eventually becomes president of Springfield College. So Joyce is getting a lot of credit in this. But what is the common theme here? Quite obvious. Joyce. Joyce was her assigned partner and has been able to establish a relationship with Sarah that has lasted through her presidency. Make sense? Sarah's amazing. So what does this mean in terms of you guys and my staff? So partners will be Sharon, Joyce, and someone to be announced. We have So many of you have heard cradle to grave services. That's sort of what we're calling this. It sounds a little ominous, though. We don't want to bury everybody who works here. But it's from beginning to end, as your employment with Springfield College have one partner, they can never leave. Focused on relationships and partnerships, they will continue with the specialty service. So I cannot get rid of benefits administration. It is what it is. So someone will have to do the benefit reconciliations, the audits on the bills, all of those things on a month-to-month basis. Joyce will stay very in contact for all things student-related, and searches and faculty hiring for the time being will remain with Sharon. So she will continue on that trajectory as well. Good morning. They will also be doing some trend monitoring, concerns or issues amongst their divisions. You're going to see a whole different way that I'm going to measure success with this model as well, which I think is the truly important part to me, is to understand how this model is actually having an influence on this campus in a positive way, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Holly, who does our HRIS, will continue to support the HR data needs, assisting partners with information sharing and gathering, and doing a lot of reporting and analysis. A lot of this model involves analysis of those reports. So she will continue to do that work as she does now, with a few things added in. Terry will be taking a much harder look at attendance trends and analysis. One of the things we don't get the time to do right now, one reason being is because we don't get time cards approved on time. When are they all due? Arousing what time on Monday? 9 a.m. Look at you guys go. And you're like, I don't approve time cards, so it doesn't matter. For us, if Terry had every time card approved at 9 a.m., she could start looking through all of them. The problem is she's chasing them down, can't close the payroll, can't look at time cards. So if we get those in by 9, just a quick plug for Terry there. But Terry's looking for some very specific things. How many of you do approve a time card? You look at 2 weeks at the max. Usually for weekly people, you're looking at how long? 1 week at a time. Can you see a trend based on 1 week at a time? No. This is the big myth to a lot of supervisors, that they're catching things as it happens. Then all of a sudden we get a report that little Susie hasn't shown up for work. We look at attendance, and in 6 months they've missed 30 days. You don't see that when you're just looking at 1 week at a time. But if Terry can start looking at these and piecing parts of this together, and then working with the partners to address issues of attendance, that will help supervisors better tackle attendance issues within their department. The other thing is sick time. How many days triggers FMLA? Does anybody know this? If you're out consecutively over how many days would it trigger an FMLA occurrence? 5 or more days, it is our right to request FMLA documentation from you. So again, we don't get the time to see that because we don't get to spend the time looking for it. But if we see 5 days, we can start doing those sorts of things. She's going to have less focus on the transactional day-to-day concerns. I can't tell you how many people come and say, "Where's my paycheck?" 99% of them are brand new. They don't remember the 17 warnings they got during orientation on their new hire paperwork in ADP when they had set up their direct deposit. They got the flash message, they got the email reminder, and we say, "It got mailed to your home address." And we're like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Again, for Terry, who's processing payroll Monday and Tuesday, for someone to come in from last Friday and just interrupt that, the partner can easily tell them that piece of information. I'm not going to go in and scan the numbers and do all that, but we can help them fill out a form or do the self-service. Reporting, again, the focus for dealing with real dollars and doing some reporting. So again, Terry's focus can shift a little bit with this new work we're doing with partners. Training and development. When we see these trends emerging, we can have Bree set up and do some training and development with our supervisors. We're doing another one on 212, shameless plug. If you are a new or aspiring or a supervisor who didn't get to go to the last boot camp, you can go to the reboot camp. I know, right? Bree came up with that one. Taking cues from partners on sourcing training skill gaps. We do realize that we have a lot of skill gaps on this campus, and a lot of them evolve around technology. I hear all the time, I don't have the proficiency in Excel, or I need more work in Word, or whatever those programs are. She can take cues from partners, the exit interviews, the data they get from people by having relationships with them, and develop training that's specific to the people they deal with. Reporting analysis, surveys, and follow-up. I use the example, has anybody ever been to a retail store or a restaurant and you walk out and they have a little kiosk stand had 3 or 4 smiley faces on it, and you were supposed to hit whichever suited your mood from that experience. So did you get really great service, okay service, or oh service? And again, it's 4 emojis from green to red. You slap the one, and that's instant. They get a report at the end of the day saying everyone loved it, everyone hated it, or we're doing all right. Our old food service vendor, where I came from, used to do that. Right as you left the dining hall area with that machine, that gave them instant feedback on it. People really enjoyed today's meal. We're going to have something similar to that. No, you won't get the slap an emoji thing because we're not that fancy, or the partner you work with. But you will get a survey after you're done that will tell us how did we do. And it won't be long. It'll be 2-3 questions at the most. But we want to know how we're doing. Front-facing customer service, Ann will keep us up and running as she always does. Outreach and communication, as you all experienced today. If I send the email, only half you get it. She sends it, everyone gets it. I don't get it, but she's the one that's doing all of our communication for us. Does this all make sense? So over the next 4 months, what's really going to be happening? So we're going to finalize our staffing plans. We have a lot of communications and info sessions that we need to do, not only with supervisors, but with employees about how this is going to work. This is the first of a couple that we're doing this week. Cross-training within HR, we have already set aside every other Friday for an hour to do some cross-training within our department. All of our team meetings, which we hold weekly, is devoted to 15-20 minutes of cross-training. We've been focused on the benefits piece right now. Partners will be assigned to each division. I kind of know where partners are going to be matched up within the organization already, but we're still finalizing those little tweaks. I will continue to do Chris Nerona's group, which, as you know, encompasses myself, Title IX, and Katie, who's out on maternity leave right now. I will continue to do that because partners shouldn't be going to each other for their own advice. And I will take the president's office as well in that work. HR will be creating some metrics for gauging success, and we're going to talk about what those metrics are, so I'm excited about those. And then eventually, probably right around the end of March, beginning of April, supervisors and employees will receive a welcome note from their partners letting them know who they've been paired with. So again, the 3 partners will reach out to all of the different groups that are going to be matched up and say, I'm your partner. Now this is the person you come to see for all of your concerns. The goal is to roll this out 7/1. We'll kind of do some soft beta testing May through June to make sure this is all working and we have everything we need to make it work. So that's the plan. So the question that came up when I first proposed this to Chris was, how are you going to gauge success? I mean, what's the end goal here? Reducing time to hire is a huge goal. Instead of Sharon focusing on every single search, which is hard for her to do with the volume that we have in searches, dividing that up over 3 people will consistently help, I think. Increasing diversity among allocated divisions, reducing voluntary turnover and promoting retention. So they're going to see the trends. They're going to understand what's going on. Hopefully we can get some of the turnover down. Decreasing bad hiring time. The goal for HR to be more involved in the hiring process and for the partners to really understand what is needed in those departments will help us focus on where are the complementary skills that we need to hire for, so we decrease our bad hiring decisions. If you've gone to any of my trainings, does anybody remember how many months we waste on one bad hire in terms of total dollars out the door? 6 months. Say it takes 12 to 18 months for you to be fully acclimated in your role. So you've wasted 6 months of dollars for a bad hire and 12 to 18 months of training someone who's not going to persist. It's not a good model. Increasing annual evaluation ratings. We're working on some new evaluation forms right now in HR. We have this pushed out and ready to go for this year. The current forms are not the best, and we have a lot to be desired in terms of those rating scales. So we're working on that, but I would love to see those ratings go up. I'd love to see more information. I've read over many of the ones that have been submitted, and some people writing the goals to complete the goals for 2018. That's your goal? Your goal is to complete your goal. Ironing? Yeah, we got it. Reducing absenteeism. Absenteeism continues to be the #1 issue for human resources. There's not a week that goes by that the supervisor doesn't come to us and say, I have a problem in my group. Or we're going to them because we've gotten information that says there is a problem in the group. But again, for them, they're seeing a week or 2 at a time. They're not looking at 6 months. When we put 6 months on a piece of paper and say this is their attendance, it's eye-opening in a lot of cases. We've also recently had some people who thought they could just take unpaid time. So like, no, you have to pay. I'm just not going to use my time. I'm going to go off. So they didn't record time in the timesheet. That's not permissible, just to be clear. We give you time off. When you want more than that, you have to make a decision about why. Okay? Building stronger employee and supervisor partnerships. We can do a better job with this. We can develop better, stronger relationships with supervisors and employees and create personalized employee training opportunities. The training boot camp that we're doing for supervisors and aspiring supervisors was really customized. That was built from scratch. It was not an out-of-the-box. We built that entire 4-session training program based on what we have seen here at the college. So we want to keep doing those types of things for the issues that continue to come up. So that to me is what success will look like. If we can get those numbers up or down in the right direction, that will be success to me. That's as pretty simple as it gets, folks. What questions do you have? Jennifer.
What if you have a new hire and they've got a partner and they don't like the partner? Are you gonna be flexible with how those people, like, because some people just might not naturally interact very well together for whatever reason. And it might not be a behavioral thing, it just might be they can't come together. Are you going to look at that opportunity to switch partners to see if there's an issue there, or how would you handle something like that?
Sure. So for those people on the phone, the question was, if somebody is not well suited as a partner match, how would you handle that? So I think it would have to be a one-on-one conversation with me to understand why they're not connecting. Because the goal is, if you aren't connecting with that person, that it's just as much our issue as it is that employee's issue. So hopefully finding some middle ground, like we try to do with any sort of mediation, would help. Maybe I can get involved a little bit. The problem with just an absolute switch, so okay, you don't want to see Joyce, you want to see Sharon, or vice versa, or you want to see the third partner. The problem with that is they're done by division, so that that partner understands the division issues. If I all of a sudden start pushing people to another partner, it breaks up the division they were assigned to, so that now that person may have to go to a couple people because everybody's being handled differently by that division. So minimal at best. It may be even that they come to see me, which still good. And I will still handle issues that involve harassment, discrimination, high-level issues, separations, suspensions, those kinds of things will always come to my attention at least. But for right now, we're concentrating on building the relationship. Of course, that somebody may not feel well suited, and we'll work with them. Yes, Pat.
When you say there's a partner associated with the division, is there, so you're saying one person will handle, say, all academic affairs?
Correct. So each person, you know, people have said all the time, how's that going to work? That's just not feasible. Here's the deal, though. Right now, Sharon has handled employee relations for 675 people. She's simply reducing that number to 600, but taking on some additional tasks. So instead of that person coming to see her and saying, you know, I've really had a tough go with it, my supervisor aren't getting along, by the way, I need FMLA, she would handle one piece, then shuffle them off to Joyce, handle the FMLA, and shuffle them off to the benefits person to get them signed up for benefits. Instead, she's going to do it. So I think there's some time efficiency savings built into that model as it is. But again, their volume of people that they're dealing with right now decreases. The number of tasks they do increases. So it's a balancing act. And that's been the most common question so far. And again, one person will be assigned to, and you use the example of academic affairs, I'll be careful with that one. Not all of academic affairs in this group setting. So one person, professional and staff people, so the non-exempt, one person will have all faculty. Because that faculty group, what?
So you're talking two different folks.
Yeah, so the faculty group will report likely to the benefits person, and the idea behind that, again, I'm giving away a little bit, the idea behind that is the benefits job itself is probably 40 to 50% time. Our faculty tend to be a low, keep the laughter to a dull roar, low risk population in terms of HR, knock on wood. They tend to come up to us and say, you know, I've got an issue with benefits, so again, the benefits person makes sense to do that. They're not coming to us primarily for employee relations issues because that's handled through their faculty contract and the faculty senate personnel committee. If they do, they're probably coming to see me anyway because it's a higher level issue. So again, that person will kind of have that group. Joyce will have, or not Joyce, who's got the adjunct? I don't even remember now. TBD? Perfect. But again, adjunct, yeah. But adjuncts are a population that once you get them in the door and we explain why they didn't get their first paycheck direct deposit, you don't see them again. But they're not a high user base of our services. So again, and even when you have 200 people, it's just like academic advising. They may have a caseload of 100 students or something, but only 25 are probably coming in on a regular basis. The rest are on autopilot, they know what to do, their schedules are set. So we still think it'll work, despite even some of the higher numbers that you might think. Good question, though. What else? Does it make sense? You might feel like they don't understand a piece of it. You basically see one person. I very much think of this as, we've been talking a lot in our group about healthcare services, and we have our healthcare sessions coming up in March. I hope you can come, they're going to be really good, but I digress. It's like being signed up with the HMO program. Anybody on the HMO? Anybody not know what health plan they have? I will see some hands when I do the training, I guarantee it. But when you go on the HMO, who do you have to see for everything, first and foremost? Your primary. Then you can get referrals to specialists. It works the same way in our group now. We're on the Human Resource HMO. Think of it that way. You will see your partner for everything you need. If they need to shuffle you off, because it's a very advanced payroll, it's like your taxes are all whacked out. How many of you have tried to do your taxes this year, by the way, Aaron? How many of you were surprised by what the number said? Yeah. I'm like, wow, oh my God, wait, is that the IO? Yeah. So, yeah, but you would go see Terry for that, obviously. I'm not going to expect my HR partner to sit there and try to work out your tax issues with you. And again, Terry is not H&R Block, but she can sit there and explain how taxes work in terms of paycheck and dollars and all that sort of thing. So, same thing with Holly. If you're having consistent issues with ADP, I'm clearing your cookies, because that is the best advice. I make fun of it, and then I do it. I'm like, okay, it works. Once she tells you that things are still not working, you still can't get the report to work or whatever, Holly's going to be your go-to for that. Partners will have limited input on the payroll and HR aspect, because I still have people that are really devoted.
Question from online. If there's an issue, would we contact our partners directly? How soon are we present?
An issue, will they respond? What if they're on extended vacation?
So the benefit of this plan is the fact that if that person's on vacation, so if Sharon wants to take some time off, her out-of-office message will say, hi, I'm sorry I'm not in the office right now. If you need immediate assistance, please contact Joyce or TBD or whoever it is in our department. It may even just be Ann, because then Ann can put that person with whoever's available at the time. My team knows, and they try to abide by this. It's not always possible. I get it. 24 hours response time is really important to us. So if you have an issue, you contact your partner directly via email or phone. Leave a message if you don't get a hold of somebody. Their voicemails would also tell you if they're out of office, and then you would simply be matched up with someone else. Now again, not ideal, but it's better than having your email sit there for a week with no attention. So you may not get someone that knows you as well as your partner, but they will still be able to help you through whatever situation you're dealing with. And if they're not getting a response time in that, they can always come see me. Andrea, you have your hand up.
I just wondered if how your timeline is for your TBD, is that going to be in place by July?
Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like our house. We've gotten all Samsung appliances now, and they all play 4 minutes of music when they're done. Anybody have these appliances? They're constantly going off, and we can't get them to shut off. It's just like chimes all the time. Like me and my mom's house, she has 47 wind chimes out to one gas bedroom. What else? Anything? Better?
Yeah.
Feeling good about it? We're excited. People on my team were kind of like, at first, and they're like, yeah, we get it. And this has truly been one of those eye-opening experiences for all of us as to how this is going to work, how we're going to make it work. There are going to be hiccups, we know that, but the team is dedicated to seeing this program and this thing work, because we know it has some better results. So, thank you very much. I will let you have your day back.